Alright, team battle has begun. It was originally going to be DS versus Radiant Tail, but Radiant Tail had some scheduling issues, and as a result, we are taking on XHRT, Crossheart, if I remember correct. Our first is going to be Rin with her Shadow Paladins, battling against Oracle Think Tanks being used by Paskalso. Interesting name. Double Mulligan is in effect, 1 clan per member. G-Assist is still a thing in case anyone is miswriting even after 2 mulligans. Rin starts off by riding Masquerade, the grade 1 10k attacker for the Revengers. And answered back by a Divine Sword, a Manamura Kuro. Drive check was Battle Sister Melee Fuleri, which when it appears on the Vanguard circle, you can counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 to draw a card. And on GB1, you can counterblast 2 to, I believe, draw 2 cards. Shadow Lancer's skill goes off, getting rid of Cormac in order to get the Break Ride Mordred Phantom, which does work with Judge Battle Revenger in order to call 2 units, which is more than likely the reason why she did it. The 17k to the Vanguard is blocked. Without the trigger, that would have needed more than 10k. Silent Tom hits the field, cannot be guarded with zeros, and Battle Sister Cocoa, so you can confirm his top card and decide to either put the top or bottom. And he put it at the top. Oh, it's a top deck, okay. So this is probably gonna hurt. Rin can't guard. Oh, it's just a draw trigger. I say just a draw trigger because I thought it was gonna be a critical. Luckily, Rin heals. Ride Mordred Phantom. Normally what would happen at this point is that Rin would stride in order to make sure that the boosted attack hits and Judge Bell goes off. But since this is 18k regardless, it's still really good. He doesn't guard. Drive check a grade 3. So that's at least 2 grade 3s in hand, not counting the one that was dropped for the skill. That means at least 4 of her grade 3s have appeared onto the field. And that's a problem. 4 if not more. Calls 2 sword breakers with the Judge Bow skill, getting draws for each. And the rear guard can still hit Tom for a good number, forces out a 10k guard. Now, this is the point where things become a problem for Rin because he can stride. And Oracle Think Tank have some of the nastiest strides in the game. It starts by riding. Ride Susanoo, not Minafune. Uses Melee Fully for stride instead. Interesting decision, but an understandable one, since Susanoo for Counterblast 1 allows him to check his top 2, add 1 to hand, and then 1 goes to the bottom of the deck. Even Rin doesn't know what card was just added into the hand, I think. And Weather Girl Ramune, an interceptor where if they try to attack it early or get rid of it early, then it will give the opponent a draw. Pretty good card if you want to make sure you absolutely have an intercept. But if you put it in there to get off the draw skill, you're probably going to never see it happen. Hoping Rin knows that that skill only goes off if it's sent to the drop zone from the rear guard circle, not from the guardian circle. Very important discrepancy there. Also very easy to fuck it up. I think this person wants rainbow triggers based on how we just attacked. Because I can't think of a reason to... Oh, and there we go. Rin used Stride in order to make up for the fact that she has a lot of grade 3s in hand. Because that was not her only... Because she has like one more Cormac in there. Blaster Dark Revenger appears. Blaster Dark Revenger retires Hahiki before its skill gets the ability to go off. He could have actually used it last turn. He chose not to. Now he's not going to get the chance. In a way, Rin's playing catch up, but for the most part, she actually has a very strong advantage. And she needs to take a moment. I'll pause the recording in this case. The battle continues. Rin is back and attacking. No guard. And Rin doesn't get a single trigger. She does get a big hand gain though. Combined with the fact that she has full field, this puts her in a very positive situation. Paskalso trying everything he can to not use a lot of hand. And as a result, he got a heal trigger and now he's striding again. Taka Mikazuchi appears. And Taka Mikazuchi's ability allows him to, and he's doing it now actually, check the top 4 cards of his deck. 2 of them go into the hand, and then 2 of them go to the bottom of the deck. Of course, some of them are going to have to start being used to fill up the field. He's doing Soul Blast 2 to unflip 2 damage now. Essentially making Taka Mikazuchi's ability free. Plays a Silent Tom but puts a Kokwa behind it. Not a good column in terms of what you want to do. Because under normal circumstances that takes a 5k block anyway. But considering he gets 3 drive checks here, he could always get triggers, give it to Tom, and make that a threat. The Vanguard is the only real problem here. But he starts by attacking with the rear Tom. This can take an easy intercept. 31 to the Vanguard. This probably won't be guarded. Of course, Rin has to worry about a double critical. So she perfect guards to make sure that doesn't happen. From what I can tell, he only has 4 critical triggers because it looks like he runs a rainbow build. So Rin probably could have afforded to take that. The last attack, he's going for the Vanguard. Rin should take this so that she can have Break Ride. And she does. Plask really should have attacked the rear just to avoid Limit Break. She rides Mordred over Mordred so she can get another Break Ride later. Considering the hand difference, it's the better of the options. Now she gets to look through her deck, find a Revenger unit, and call it. Well, Mordred Phantom can call anything from the deck, but Revengers are the only thing left because all the Sword Breakers should be out. The unit called gains 5k, and it's also a Mac Heart, which sets up for when she wants to Legion. 29,000 attack, not guarded. The second check was Grim Revenger, so that was a critical. And that's enough to block that. I wonder if he knows this. No. Okay, so he's trying to use Ramune's skill, but it doesn't work. And luckily Rin caught him on it. He didn't shuffle that. I mean, as long as he can guard, he's going to draw it anyway. But yeah, Ramune is one of those complicated units. You wonder what it's there for. The best thing I can say as far as its use is that it's one of those units you can make sure isn't intercept sniped. Which is probably its purpose is purely defensive, because if they try to stop it from being an intercept outside of skills that prevent you from doing intercepts, which only Steel Dragons can do. Steel Dragons and Tachikaze. But outside of that, the only other way you'd stop it from intercepting is by attacking it. Really good against units that only let you guard from hand with zeros, actually. Because they'll usually try to attack the intercepts. And if they do that, then they give you draws and give you potential draws into more grade zeros. Of course, as a Prominence Glare user, I'll say right now, it's better to do that and run the risk of it than to let them keep the intercept. If you're trying that hard to end the game. As I was talking, Stride happened. Take Mikazuchi. And from it, you got 2 cards added to hand. Calls a rear guard. And now he's going to start attacking. Kuroi Kazuzuchi's skill, whether it hits or not, when it attacks the Vanguard, it gets a draw for a Counterblast 1. Rin is thinking, should she guard? If I were her, I'd take this and block the Vanguard. As long as she has the ability to do that based on what's in her hand, that would be the best way to go about this. She has a perfect guard in the damage and perfect guard in the drop. She also runs at least one. She also runs a quintet wall, so she only has one perfect guard left in the entire deck. The odds of it being in her hand right now aren't entirely low. She decides to guard. I'm curious to see if she's willing to risk taking the Vanguard. I would say she should, just because I have a really strong belief that this only has one set of criticals. But I very well could be wrong. Because it seems to have stands. He's using it as though it has stands. Nope, there's a critical. For all intents and purposes, that might be the very last one. Critical, then heal. And that's a problem. And no third trigger. Now that Tom has 2 criticals. Takes 3 cards to block it. Rin lost a lot of hand from that. And Rin decides Stride is the better option. Better than Break Ride. I mean, Break Ride, Stride. Most likely she wants to gain her hand and get some defense. Although if it were me, I probably would have started returning some units with a Legion by now. Not to say it's the be-all, end-all best idea, but still. First check is a critical. Second check is a perfect guard. She has defense for next turn and a draw trigger. So never mind what I said. She got good checks from that. Shuffling things into the deck would have messed with that, so she was right to do what she did. Now, depending on hand, I really would like to see her start attacking that Tom, because it really does need to get off the field. And there it is. The attack was the Tom, not the Vanguard, so. Now keep in mind that the opponent, Plask, is out of Take Mikazuchi's, because in order to activate its skill, you have to flip face up one of the Stride units from the G zone. And since you're only allowed to have 4 of any one unit, it means that all 4 are flipped up. When a Stride unit is flipped up, it cannot be used again. So if he wants to Stride, his only option is the Soaring Aspution Beast, Quilla. At the same time, Generation Break 2 is activated, meaning Susanoo gains 5,000 power and a critical, because the number of cards in Plask's hand is 4 or greater. So he starts with an attack from Kuroi Kazuzuchi, which gets him another draw. Rin will likely take this hit and block the Vanguard, because the Vanguard does have 2 critical. Nope, Rin guards it. This is actually the point where deck out starts to become an issue. As a matter of fact, if Rin can outlast the battle, she could actually win by deck out. Not only that, but I only have 2 heals accounted for as being out of deck. Meaning there are 2 left, and if she strides, she can get the one in the drop zone back into the deck. Rin did guard, but Klaus might not have seen it. He did not. But now everyone knows. So Susanoo attacks. 21,000 to the Vanguard, 2 critical. Rin drops 2 10k shields. She's probably saving the perfect guard for Tom in case he gets a critical, which is not a bad idea. One thing I find increasingly strange about this is that out of all the units I've seen... Oh, no, wait. He does have 2 sets of criticals. Never mind. But he already has 6 out of deck, actually. Okay, I miscounted. I didn't realize Nikkei was a critical because I don't see people using it anymore. Rin can't Legion. Can't Break Ride. So instead she just attacks. A perfect guard appears, and that gives Plosk an unflip. Phantom Blaster Abyss appeared, as did a Witch unit. The Witch unit is a draw trigger. Goes straight for Tom. The more of those gone, the better at this point. And it also goes for Kuroi Kazuzuchi. At this point, I think Rin is just looking for the deck out. Which is probably another reason why she didn't use the perfect guard last turn. So there's another Silent Tom. So first attack is Ranfune to the Vanguard. Sorry, Ramune. 5k blocked. So does she have 2 10ks for the Vanguard, or is she going to Perfect Guard at this time? At this point, the issue is Tom. Dropping 3 grade zeros in order to block it. Making sure that Tom can't do anything to her. Very smart strategy. Tom only needs an intercept. He drops mana. Now at this point we should see Break Ride. She doesn't do the Counterblast skill. I'm guessing she doesn't want to take any units out of her deck right now. Performing Legion, getting 2 heal triggers, a critical trigger, and are we gonna get the Blaster Dark Abyss? Can I hear Blaster Dark Abyss in the drop? going in there from the drop. There's 3 in drop. No, the last one was a critical trigger. She had one Phantom Blaster Dark Revenger Abyss left. Now I hope Rin remembers that Black Winged Swordbreaker actually is not a Revenger, so it cannot be retired for Phantom Blaster Abyss's ability. Not to mention that because of the fact that she did not... Oh, and there's another critical. It's one more out of deck, actually. Perfect guard for the Vanguard with an unflip. First check is a critical. And second is a critical. She's doing the skill. $38K, 3 critical to the Vanguard. So that's 21, 31, 36, still hits. It's not even a 1 pass yet. Now it's a 1 pass. And that's a 2 pass. That actually just hit. That hit. No, wait, no it didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't count the trigger power. My mistake, I did not count the trigger power. That did not hit. So he calls 2 grade 3s from his hand, going all in. He should only have 1 critical trigger left in his deck. And Rin just got 4 grade 0s, and Plask had to use all of his toms just to guard. If I was Rin, I probably would have taken the first attack, but at the same time, she's in a position where she's trying to win by deck out. She doesn't want to get a lot of cards into the damage zone if she can help it. She doesn't want to lose many cards from her deck anymore. He takes that attack. Plays my card. Keeps her hand in case he tries to go for it in the last turn, in the event that he does live. But I don't think he can guard this. And I was disconnected for doing nothing. Be right back. Alright, back to the action. It looks like he was able to withstand Rin's last attack, but... Rin was able to guard everything, and now wins because of deck out. So the match is over. Rin has won this one. Good games, everybody. Sorry I missed the last part, but 30 minutes and it times out. As far as I could tell, he was able to block all of Rin's attacks Well, he took the vanguard, guarded the rear. No triggers came up on either side. And Rin was able to guard everything but the vanguard. So good game. On to the next one.